Hi, I'm Dr. Caroline Leaf, and welcome to my podcast, Cleaning Up the Mental Mess. Today, I've got a little tip for you just to help you manage your mental space. Is something that has helped, that I battle with. And I know that a lot of people tell me they battle with this too. And that is dealing with things like if only, could have, would have, should have, how that can drive you crazy. So we put up a post the other day, and this really received like a lot of response. And the post was, just because things could have been different, it doesn't mean that they would have been better. And the comment that I made with that is that, do you find you get stuck ruminating on if only or should have? I know, honestly, I do struggle with this a lot. I really used to struggle an enormous amount with it. But having done the Neurocycle to deal with this, it has really, really helped me. And I even still have on my phone, or on the app on my phone, the Neurocycle app that I've developed. And for those of you that are hearing me for the first time, I have an app called the Neurocycle app, which helps you to rewire your brain in cycles of 63 days, rewire the mind-brain-body connection in the right direction, direct your mind. And I did multiple cycles of 63 days, and I managed to get this under control. But, it's just something that every now and then will pop back up. And as I said, I have it under control because I've done the work, but I didn't used to. For many years, I would really say this, honestly, this statement, I would honestly say to myself, just because things could have been different, it doesn't mean that they would have been better. So if only is a way of looking at something where something's happened and you can't handle how you did it or how you said it or how the situation played out or what you said or how you handled the situation. And instead of being able to sort of move forward and learn from that and just say, okay, well, it happened. And, and if I did it differently, maybe it would have been better or maybe it couldn't have. And you find yourself ruminating and getting stuck. And if I should have done it this way, I wish I'd done it this way. And you find yourself, it's stealing time from you. It's stealing like the next moments of work you're supposed to be doing. It starts stealing from it, making you feel very uncomfortable, making you feel frustrated, making you angry, making you irritated. And I had a situation like this just today where I had to do something that I did not plan to have to do. I have a really full day today. And something came up that I had to deal with. And I was very frustrated and I did not handle it well. And I did it, but I didn't handle it well. And I found myself, when I was going into my next activity, I found myself getting extremely frustrated and thinking, I should have done this, I should have done that. Look what I did. I felt so bad. I impacted this and that. And so I stopped immediately and I said, okay, first of all, let me deal with the impact of the way I handle this on other people. So I immediately texted, phoned, apologized for what I'd done. So I dealt with that. I acknowledged how I felt, that I acknowledged the situation, acknowledged my emotions, how I acknowledged how I responded, I acknowledged the impact, and I dealt with that. I made a decision to deal with that. So I did a mini Neurocycle to catch myself in that process as I was starting to spiral. And then once I had apologized and dealt with that, then I sat down with myself, literally in 2 chairs, and I sat down with myself and I said, literally, just because things could have been different, it doesn't mean that they could have been better. I literally looked back at my own post and I thought, okay, well, I could have done that differently, but it doesn't mean it would have been better. I had to get through it. What maybe could have been better was I didn't need to get as irritated, but I had to handle that situation. And the steps I took to handle it actually weren't bad. I solved the problem and did what I had to do. And maybe if I hadn't got so worked up, maybe it would have been better, maybe it wouldn't have, as long as I've apologized for any impact on others. But it certainly maybe motivated me to finish the situation. In other words, you can see I used some reasoning to help myself see, would it have been better if I had done it a different way? Now, yes, definitely I didn't have to get so irritated. That was for sure, would have been better not to get irritated. But the irritation I caught pretty quickly, and I turned that irritation energy into solving the problem. And I realized that I actually solved the problem really quickly. So in stopping and analyzing, it maybe wouldn't have been better if I hadn't got irritated, because the irritation made me, with my strong self-regulation skills, I took the irritation and turned it into something constructive that actually made me solve the problem quicker. If I had stayed in my old if-only rumination stage, I wouldn't have grabbed that irritation as quickly. I wouldn't have made it become positive energy, healthy energy, and give me the drive to finish what I had to do and solve the problem quickly. So I caught it and flipped it. I was able to sit down afterwards, recognize and go through. Now, I sound like a saint. I'm not, okay? I have trained myself to get like this. I still mess up all the time, but I get through the mess up so much quicker. And that's why I'm sharing this with you, because I know what that used to do to me. I know what it used to do to my mental health, and I know it would have impacted the rest of my day. So I actually fitted this in as a podcast because I just went through this and thought, hey, I've just gone through this. I need to share this because I know that this can help you. So just because things could maybe have been different, it doesn't mean they would have been better. Now, part of what I went through would have been better because my irritation did impact someone, but I could apologize for that. And I could learn from that. So I don't see that as a failure. I see that as something that I shouldn't have done, but I am more aware and I could apologize. Can you see I've made it work? I've learned from it. I don't want to feel like that again. I don't want to react like that again. So I don't have to, because now I've learned something from it. I've turned what could have in the past been an if only for hours. I mean, literally hours, where it would have affected my quality of work and just how I felt about things. I turned that into something constructive and I shared it with you. So there's my active reach. I actually shared this with you and I hope it will help you. So the next time you catch yourself regretting and doing if only, should have, could have, would have, stop, acknowledge those emotions, acknowledge how your body's feeling, acknowledge what you said and did, acknowledge your perspective, correct any hurt that you have via text, email, phone call, direct contact, then sit down and analyze and learn from the situation and take that learning, that knowledge you've gained, and turn it into something that you can use in the future. Thanks for joining me.